This hefty book is Julia Child's classic, Mastering the Art of French Cooking, first published in 1961. With her cookbooks and her television shows, Julia was maybe the first star chef. She got Americans excited about cooking, and she influenced many of today's top chefs. I'm Owen Dugan.
And I'm Bruce Sanderson. We work together on matching wine with new interpretations of Julia's recipes.
And this dish is Emeril Lagasse's riff on her classic coq au vin. Emeril turned up the heat with more garlic, plus he added exotic mushrooms.
Not only did Julia Child change how America eats, she also helped change how America drinks. When she published Mastering the Art of French Cooking in 1961, one of the reasons it was seminal was its approach to food and wine. Before this, American authors didn't usually suggest wine pairings with recipes. For the coq au vin, she recommended drinking a red Burgundy, Rhone, or Bordeaux. So we followed Julia's lead, but we tried all three to see which one was our favorite. And what we found was that the Burgundy, although delicious on its own, was a little bit elegant, and because of its light body, was overwhelmed by the dish. The Côte de Rhone, on the other hand, was a little bit, it was the most full-bodied of the three, and it tended to dominate the dish and show a little bit of alcohol on the finish. Our favorite pairing was the Bordeaux. What we're drinking is the Chateau Haut-Beausejour Saint-Estèphe 2006. I think this is typical for a chateau of this level. It's not at the very, very top, but well-made wine, and because the 2006 vintage was not a great vintage, this is more approachable in its youth, and it has some very nice, soft cherry and blackcurrant fruit. Owen, tell us a little bit about this dish.
Well, it's a classic French country dish. You brown chicken parts in bacon fat, and then you add pearl onions, garlic, mushrooms, some thyme, flame it off in brandy, and then you add stock and red wine. People are always surprised at red wine in a chicken dish, but that's how you braise this quickly and get a really good deep sauce, even though it doesn't braise for that long.
The mushrooms bring a nice earthiness to it.
Yeah.
And I detect a little sweetness too.
Yeah, and I think it's from the onions and also from the brandy that's added and flamed off. This is a quick braise, but you do get a relatively deep, satisfying sauce. And it needs a wine with a little bit of stuffing, but also with some fruit. And as you said, the Burgundy just couldn't stand up to the dish, but the Bordeaux does just right.
That fruit is so immediate. And then just a little undercurrent of herbs beneath that fruit, which makes it really compelling and also works so well with the dish. Another thing I like about this dish is that it really elevates the wine. I think the wine becomes more complex with the food.
And it's interesting to come across a dish like this that's essentially one-pot cooking, grandmother cooking, but it's also one of the fundamental dishes of French cuisine. So the dish is traditional, as was the wine pairing. Bruce, what did you think about her suggestion?
Well, I think Julia gave readers broad recommendations that are appropriate for the dish. And no matter if you add a little bit more or a little bit less of the ingredients like the garlic or the brandy, I think that odds are the wines will work fine. Here with Emeril's adaptation, all three wines were good, but the Bordeaux really had the best synergy with the dish.
We can't finish this without doing what Julia did at the end of every one of her shows.
Yeah, of course.
Bon appetit!